We've got a couple of bits of news, some updates from Church Life, which we'd love to share with you before we hear from Anthony. And one is this: we are coming to the end of our 1,000 hours month of mission. And this week, new acts of service have included helping launch Love Barton's new community space, just a brilliant space that's going to bless that just beautiful part of the city. Gardening for elderly neighbours, community groups and youth have done a litter pick together, not together, in different parts of the city, in fact, all over the city. I don't know why I added that word. People have run community events in local parks, which has been a great opportunity to get to know new neighbours and make connections. People have served safe families by gardening for families in need and preparing meals for them, and much, much more. Some of the testimonies include these. Someone told a volunteer that they had never seen Christians serving in this kind of way and were really touched by seeing the way that they cared for the community. Which I love that, and also I think, how can this be the first time you've seen Christians doing this? May it happen more. One volunteer spent 4 hours with neighbours, hearing their stories and challenges, and was able to speak hope to them and invite them to church. People litter picking in Botley said that local shop owners bought refreshments to thank them. Many people reported great conversations provoked by the T-shirts and opportunities to give out flyers and invite people to church. And various people over the last couple of weeks have particularly had opportunities to pray for those we've been serving. It was great to read a story about one man who has experienced a stroke and has been unable to walk for a year. And he asked a group of people who were doing some gardening for prayer that he would be able to walk again. And while being prayed for, he said that he could just feel this heat rushing through his legs, which surprised him. And apparently he kept taking the hand of the person who was praying for him and saying, "But your hand's cool, but my leg is really hot." And the heat was still there even minutes after being prayed for. So we're trusting that God is doing something in his life, and we look forward to hearing whatever else happens there. God has been using us to bless this city in many, many different ways. And I'm sure you're all eager to know how many hours of the 1,000 we have done. Well, next week we're going to announce that... No, I'm kidding. I've kept you on tenterhooks too long. Let's play the video. Oh. Otherwise, I'm just going to say the number. That'll be an anticlimax. Here we go. Without sound, but there you go. Makes it more dramatic. Here we go. Come on! Yes! Good. Wonderful. That's actually hideously out of date because many of you have also logged hours this morning. So since we made that video, so there are actually more and more hours to add on. And I know that people are still like, but still, it's May. You can't stop yet. And that's right. You still have the rest of today. So let's see if we can get 2,000 hours. I don't know. Yeah, Steve, being most competitive in the room, is probably like, we can do it. No, great. We've said many times, actually, that it's not actually about the number. It's about having many opportunities to open our eyes and have our eyes opened to the needs around us and having connections, fresh connections or refreshed connections with those around us. And one of the things that's brought me joy this month has been seeing how communities have started to spot the needs around them, learn how to serve them, and be able to have great conversations and opportunities to pray with people. And I'm looking forward to seeing how those develop. I know that various community group members have said, actually, we've identified needs that we couldn't deal with in May, but we've now got ongoing connections and things we're going to be able to put in place over the summer, which is wonderful. In fact, I read of one person saying that someone stopped them in the streets when they weren't wearing one of these T-shirts and said, "I recognize you. You're part of that group that's been serving the community," right? Which is brilliant. And I trust that will continue on beyond May. I pray, actually, it will be part of our lives together, that we would increasingly serve this city and be known for those who serve this city with the love of Jesus Christ. I'd love us to pray in a moment that would be the case. Let me just say a couple of practical things. One is we still have today, so we can reach those 2,000 hours. But also, I know that many of you have served the city over this last month and haven't yet logged those hours. There is still time to do that. If you took part in something as a community group, please don't assume that someone else in your group logged your hours for you. I know that hasn't actually been the case in most groups. So please do log your hours. Actually, we can see them all. We can filter out duplicates. Don't worry, we're not going to fiddle the numbers. But do remember to log the hours. Also, if you signed up for an event, for instance, the Tyndale Prayer Space, we also need you to log the hours as well. We haven't done that automatically for you. And I know there are a whole load of hours that haven't been logged yet. You can do that on the website via the QR code there, or at the table out in the foyer. And we'll keep that form open till the middle of this week. And it's great just to see the stories come in as well. So don't just log the hours, share any stories of what you've been able to do and how the Lord has used you to be a blessing to this city. I'd love us just to take a moment to pray together, if that's all right. And what I'm going to ask us to do is just like really short, sharp, focused, just 2 minutes of prayer. I'm going to ask us in a moment just to turn to people around us, and if you're comfortable doing so, just praying for situations in our city, praying for people that we've met, praying for ways that we've been able to serve, or needs that you know of in the city that we've not been able to touch through this month. I was thinking about today and was reminded of a verse in 1 Corinthians 3 where Paul effectively says, look, what are any of us? We're just servants, and some of us sow the seeds and some of us water the seeds, but God is the one who brings the growth. And this is 1,022 seeds, more seeds that have been scattered through the city over this month, but we want God to bring growth. We want God to bring life, to turn hearts to himself. And so I'm going to ask you just for 2 minutes, turn to someone around you and pray. Maybe pray for ongoing relationships, for conversations, for fruit. Maybe lift up individuals or situations you're aware of and pray that God would take our efforts and multiply them for his glory. I'm going to give you 2 minutes and then we'll be back with a few more announcements. Go for it.